Okay, so we getting ready to get into our second clip. In the second clip, um, he's read his passage, 2 Peter 3:9. I'm not going to play that part, okay? I'm going to get right into him saying that it doesn't take a Bible scholar to understand that verse. But it does take somebody who, where the Bible tells us that somebody that don't want to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, we have to take that verse in context, okay? So keep that in mind. The context of course, chapter 3, the whole letter, also the whole Bible in context, right? And he's also going to say that, when people go to hell, when they choose to go to hell, they are literally transgressing the will of God and doing it because his will is none should perish. So I think also a good thing to say here as well, or something to point out, reality is people go to heaven and people go to hell. Okay? Now, God, when he, and see, and I told you also in a previous clip before, in one of my introductions, God is jealous for his glory, okay? It's all about God, and it's for his namesake and those things. So when you have creating, he created us, for all of us, for his pleasure and for his own purposes. When he did this and for his own glory, now how man's responsibility in the sovereignty of God works, just like it said in the Reformation Study Bible, it's there in the Bible. We have to, I think there's a tension there, at least for me. I don't know for others or not. But also in his clip, he's going to say God created us as free moral agents with the right and the ability to choose. And I thank God for that. He gave Adam and Eve the right to choose. They could choose the right way or the wrong way. He said we are byproducts of Adam and Eve. We have their sinful nature, but we're still free moral agents with the right to choose. Now, I'm not sure exactly where original sin fits in here, if it's even something that he believes in. Also, too, he said, because God could have made them robots. So, yeah, we know God could have did anything. He could have made us robots. He could have not put that tree in the midst of the garden. He could have done that. He could have made the world in such a way that all would be saved. He could have done that too. But for whatever reason, and we can't question God on that because it's his business, it's his world. We're the clay and he's the potter, so we can't even question that. But we know that he did the best. Okay, the way this is set up is what was going to give him the most honor and glory. Okay, because he's all wise. He doesn't make mistakes. So, and of course, this looks kind of chaotic to us in some regards, and kind of like whatever. Especially if you want men to be the type of free moral agents and having the ability to, having the right to choose, right? Having that ability to choose because we're free moral agents. Even when you have a free agent in sports, and I hope I'm right in my analogy here, they still can't get on whatever team they want to, okay? So this whole free moral agents, and if you have kids, I'm not sure if they're totally free either. Okay, so and maybe we should talk about free will, and because I do have a take on free will, and as well. But we're going to talk about that a little bit more because he's going to bring it up again. He's not done with the free will thing. It's one of his favorite things, okay, to have his free will. So it's going to come up again. So I'll probably talk about it then. So let's go and just listen to him. Listen to that quote. I'm going to have to turn it up here. It's already up, okay.
It take a Bible scholar to understand that verse. The Bible tells us that it's not God's will that anybody perish. If anybody perish, they go to hell, literally transgressing the will of God, because God's will is for them to be saved. But God has created us as free moral agents with the right and the ability to choose, and I thank God for that. He could have created Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden as robots. He could have programmed them, but no, our God put them there in the Garden of Eden, and he gave them the right to choose. And they could choose the right way, or they could choose the wrong way. And of course, we know exactly what Adam and Eve did. And we are byproducts of Adam and Eve. We have their sinful nature, but we also are still free moral agents with the right to choose. And we can choose to go to heaven if we accept God's way, or we can reject God's way and go to hell. Well, Calvinism appeals really to...
Okay, we're going to stop there because that actually is going to bring up a whole nother video there. I just got from the press. No, I'm just kidding. I just got let's make a little bit of comment, just kind of close this one out here. If free now, then why do we need to answer to God? I mean, if we're free, you would think that, and this almost sounds like open theism. Honestly, it does sort of sounds like open theism, which is a heresy. Okay, we won't call it Christian because it's not Christian. And I'm not even sure if we would even call it sub-biblical either. I think it's just non-Christian, and I think it's heresy. So, because it's like you make us free, it's like, who do we answer to if we're so free? Okay? And actually, let's make sure we understand exactly this freedom that we're talking about, or this ability to choose, okay? Now, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos too. This is my house. I let people in my house that I want in my house. I just don't let anybody in. You don't have a free will to choose to come in. So, and I kind of relate that too. And of course, this is my illustration, okay? I haven't heard any reformer say this. God's is God's house. He sets his rules. Heaven is his. And he says who he allow in, okay? And that's his right. And I think another thing too to kind of point out, he was like, we have the right and the ability. Like, God owe me to be free, okay? Because he can't be making me no robot, because that ain't right. So it's very much this clay is in a bad place, okay? So in this sermon, I'm thinking you're going to be able to see some of that arrogance that I mentioned before. And it looks like also we need to see it as ignorance. So arrogance and ignorance are seeming to be cousins in this particular sermon. Because that ability, he said, you cannot come to me. Okay? So for us, and I guess, yeah, we can say the words. Anybody can lie and say some words. But just like Jesus told Nicodemus, ye must be born again. Okay, and that means born from above. That means God has to do a work. Even Jesus says that people believed in me, but he knew men's hearts, and he did not receive them. Okay, he did not receive them. So we have to. Salvation is of God. This is a work of God, and that's the thing. It's a work of God, total work of God. We don't cooperate with man, and it's the time to bring up this word too, monergism. It's a monergistic work. It's God's work. It's not our work. It's not synergism. It's not synergistic work, okay? So, but that's what he's going to say, that we have to cooperate with God. And I don't know if he's going to actually use that phrase that I said he's going to cooperate with God. But that's what it's going to be implied there, that we have to cooperate with God. Okay. Thanks for listening.